Welcome back to Bingers Bricks, everybody. My name is Ben. In today's video, we have some massive updates. First of all, I want to take a look at some housing updates. These housing updates are going to change the entirety of our Lego collection, our Lego city, and potentially the Lego channel. Secondly, I want to update our Iron Man Lego minifigure collection. I know this has been going on for a while and we are almost completely done, so let's add a few more into that. And then lastly, I want to give a shout out to my godson Enzo, as he gave us, as we were just back in Wisconsin, he gave me the Lego Technic recycling and garbage truck. So I want to get that in the Lego city as well. So let's get started. So we officially have some big updates. We have now listed our house for sale. It also sold 24 hours after we listed it. But now we are tasked with what are we going to do with our Lego city. Before we dive into what we're going to be doing with the Lego city next, I want to talk about a couple different opportunities we have for a living situation coming up here after we officially close on our house. Now, if you've been following us for a little while, we have talked about potentially moving into a house that's already built. I would have my own Lego room / office, which would be great, but we are actually entertaining a secondary option right now. We are looking at potentially building a house. We have finally found a plot of land that is a little expensive, but is still within our price range that we would love to build a house, which would be best for the family, but also would give me an opportunity to specifically design a Lego room / office for myself. So it's still very exciting in that form. Now, where it gets a little tricky is if we go that route, we're actually going to be having to rent for the next year and a half here. So it's gonna get a little tricky, but let's talk about how the Lego city plays into that. So this is where it gets tricky, everybody. We've been working on the Lego city for about 2 years now, and it's phenomenal. I love it. I still think that there's a lot of improvements that could be made, but what we've done so far looks great. Now, no matter what we do, if we're going to be building a house, we're going to end up moving into a 3-bedroom unit with fewer walk-in closets. So unfortunately, that means that the Lego city is either going to have to be stored or we're going to have to sell a little bit of the Lego city. So at least I can still take what we have and somehow display it in the rental that we're going to be moving into. So I want to talk about that a little bit more. I know it pains me to say we're not going to be getting rid of any of our staple sets that we have in the Lego city or any of our really expensive sets. So I want to talk a little bit more about that. So let's go take a look. As I mentioned, we are going to be selling some of the Lego sets in the Lego city. Now that's only to minimize some of the collection so that we can build it back up at a later time. Now that doesn't mean we're going to be selling everything, right? There are a lot of different staples that we have in the Lego city that I can't get rid of, right? We have the Avengers Tower I don't want to get rid of. We have 123 Sesame Street, the courthouse that we'll be keeping. Daily Bugle will stay. The bowling alley, Sitcom Tower will stay. Downtown Diner, and then we have this entire row of modulars that will stay as well. We'll keep all of the roads. We're going to keep most of the greenery area. I love the A-frame cabin, so that's not going anywhere. We still have to build Rivendell. So definitely a lot of different sets to look through. I have somebody lined up to come and get the corner garage, and then over here, what you can see the little hole here. But somebody's also coming to pick up the corner garage and the detective's office. So I know detective's office was a tough one to get rid of, but I do want to try to minimize some of the collection so that when we move, I can still display as much of it as I can, whether that's building bookshelves and putting some glass around it, or if I still am able to get some different dressers and create a small Lego city there. So definitely going to try to share some of the different ideas that I have. And then again, we're also going to be keeping all of our brick heads because I think my son would potentially kill me if I did keep all those. So just want to kind of give you guys those updates just because it's hard for me to get rid of some of these sets, but it's definitely something that I think in the short term will help us, you know, travel and display while we don't have to get rid of everything. It's just trying to minimize some of the different sets that we have. So as much as I'm bummed to be getting rid of these 2 sets, right? We have the detective's office and the corner garage here, 2 great sets. I will say that I'm actually kind of excited for this change. Now, I'll take you back in the Lego room and show you exactly what I'm talking about. And the fact that that does leave a couple pretty big holes in the Lego city. You all heard me talk about the couple empty spots that we have in the Lego city now that we sold the corner garage and the detective's office. And I want to fill those in for the time being just because we're still living here for about a month, and I want to still make sure that it looks nice for anybody that comes over. So what we'll end up doing is, I don't want to push the courthouse and the 123 Sesame Street mock together primarily because there's just too much tan on tan here. So what I'll do is, for the time being, I'll switch the Jazz Club out, bring it over here, push everything down. We'll make that a full road in the back, especially since everything's being blocked by the Avengers Tower over here. And then on this side, what we'll do is we'll fill it in right next to the downtown diner with the Manor Von Baron or the Haunted House. So super excited to get that in the Lego City. The only downside is the fact that it is about 27.5, 28 inches tall. And down here, we have a gap of about 26.75 to 27 inches. So definitely something that's going to be interesting getting it in there, especially since this is not Mills plated yet. So we'll get that down here in the Lego City, see how that works, and then get the Jazz Club flipped over, kind of see how everything looks with the changes. We moved the Manor Von Baron down, and I think it's nice to have it in the Lego City, but overall, as far as placement, I don't necessarily love it there. You guys will have to give me your opinion on where you think it should go. Personally, I may end up moving it over to the other side, maybe putting it in between the Jazz Club and potentially 123 Sesame Street, just to kind of differentiate the sizes over here. We only have one taller set versus over here. We already have Sitcom Tower and Daily Bugle. So definitely something I may end up working with a little bit more here in the future and maybe one of our next videos, but definitely nice to have it back in the Lego City. But now I'm excited as it is time to move on to our Iron Man collection, as well as War Machine and Tony Stark as well. We have 5 spots left, and I think we have 4 or 5 minifigures to add in here. Yikes, we're getting full. It is time to continue to fill out our Iron Man, War Machine, and Tony Stark shadow box that we have going here. We only have 5 spots left. We started with 52. It is starting to fill up pretty quickly here. And as you can see in here, we do have some suits that we can eventually take out if we need to, such as like Justin Hammer. It's technically not an Iron Man suit, but definitely is something that we may potentially take out if we have to add more in. And we are going to have to add more in here very quickly because we have 5 spots left, and I think we have 6 figs that we're going to be adding in here, and I'll tell you just how we're going to do that. But going through the figs first here, we do have the, I always call it the expansion pack, but it's really just kind of the exclusive Spider-Man additional pack here. We have the Venomized Iron Man that I want to get added in there, and I also want to keep this for my personal collection, just the Venomized Spider-Ham. I'm trying to remember what his actual name is, but definitely something that I'm going to be adding into my personal collection, and then the other 2 I'll probably just give to my kids. We do have from, I believe, one of the advent calendars, just the Christmas edition of the Iron Man suit. And then one of the newer Iron Mans that's been released is one of the 4+ sets. I can't remember the set's number. I want it's a 10704 or something like that. Probably way off on that. And I'll put a picture up here just to show everybody. But definitely a cool Iron Man minifig. Definitely a different color. Not really a huge fan of the color, but definitely something that I wanted to add into the collection. And then this one I actually really like. It's kind of an expensive fig. We do have Ironheart. Love this minifig. I know that it's an Iron Man related suit or something that Iron Man built, not necessarily an Iron Man suit himself, but definitely one that I want to add in right next to the Pepper Potts Iron Man suit. And then we also have the War Machine Avengers suit, and then we also have Iron Spider. So I know some of these aren't necessarily directly Iron Man, but some of them are a little bit more expensive figures that I want to try to get added in here. And once we get all this added in and filled up, I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to have to start on like Spider-Man or some other different type of minifigure, because this has been a blast trying to hunt all of these down. So let's add them in. Yeah.
I keep running over things I once had hoped for. It's looking like I'm broken. All the doors are closing.
We have put together some amazing sets, but honestly, this is one of my favorite pieces that I own, or I guess 52 technically pieces that I own within my Lego collection. And I love just the displayability of all these minifigures that I have. And honestly, it's just something that I've been collecting for so long that it's just so nice to see it kind of come together here and being able to see all of the different minifigs that we have. It's not a complete collection yet. We are getting there. We are very close. One of the only minifigs I need left, I believe I need the Mark 7 with the small helmet visor, as well as think I need the Mark 85 with the large helmet visor, but otherwise we are super close to getting everything complete here. The only other minifigure that I want in here besides that Mark 7 with a small helmet visor is the Iron Patriot. After I get those two minifigures, we are going to be done here. And as I mentioned, we do have a little bit of wiggle room here, as we do have like the Justin Hammer, you know, minifig that we can take out that's not necessarily Iron Man. We do have the Iron Spider. Probably the next one to go there. Just, again, great suit, but definitely we'll go into the personal collection, and then we'll kind of go from there. But otherwise, after we get those two minifigs, I think we're going to be done. All right, everybody, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, wanted to give a huge shout out to my godson, Enzo. Before we log off here, just wanted to build this recycling truck and get it in the Lego City. So thank you, Enzo, so much again for giving this to me, buddy. Let's take a look what it looks like as it's built.
Still I see a light shining in the night. All that's left unspoken, it'll be alright. White walls with the pads on, cause I've been acting very whack. Quite long since I've been home, I don't wanna carry that. And nightfall with the lights on, cause I am just a scaredy cat. I call so we might talk, and maybe you can make me laugh. Struck by love in a lightning storm, cover me up with a silence.
Here we are, everybody. It is complete. The recycling truck turned out pretty well, actually. I haven't done many Technic builds, but overall, this one was actually pretty cool. So definitely something I'll have to look into doing a few more to get a few more in the Lego City here. So can't wait to get this in. Just want to show you guys a couple cool little unique characteristics to the vehicle here. We have a couple different knobs. This one right here just affects the axles and really just how you can turn the vehicle. And then if we turn around to the other side, we have this orange little knob down here. After flipping this up, it does dump the bed of the vehicle. Obviously dumping out all the recycling or garbage, whatever you want to dump. And then this last one, I have to turn around here so that you guys can see. But once you twist that knob, it actually pinches these green Technic pieces down here. And that's where this recycling bin comes into play. Move that right there. And then what we'll do is just twist these. It's got those rubber units. And then once you dump it up, all the stuff inside dumps inside. Some of them fall out, of course. And then you can dump the bed of the truck and dump them all out. So I think that's pretty cool. So definitely something we'll be adding into the Lego City. And yeah, we'd be done. Back in the Lego City here, got the recycling truck. Honestly, I thought it was going to be too big for the Lego City and our roads, but with the expansion on the edges, it fits perfectly. So definitely a good addition, as now we can pick up all the garbage and recycling in the Lego City. So don't have to worry about that anymore. Thanks again, everybody, for stopping by. I know a lot is changing in the Lego City. A lot is changing in our personal life. So thank you again for following us and, you know, all the support. Really appreciate that. Please make sure you guys drop a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite minifigure is. And also let me know what you think we should collect next. We have all the different Disney series. We have most of the Iron Man figs. So definitely something that I'm not entirely sure what to collect next. So please let me know what y'all think, and look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you later.